For today's Halloween video, we are going to be making monster cupcakes. Making these is super easy and quick to do. If you use a pre-made cake mix like this, it's even quicker. So for the pre-made cake mix, it says you need oil and eggs, and then for the decoration, you need icing. You can use sprinkles or something similar if you so wish. And I'm going to be using this white chocolate, room temperature. It hardens and it's in a pen shape, so it'll be really easy to make the teeth. I'm also going to be using strawberry laces, which I forgot to put in this video part. So first thing I'm going to do is put in my cake mix and then follow the instructions on the back of the box, where I'll add 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of oil. So during this as well, you want your oven to be preheating so that you don't have to wait around afterwards. Then the box says to add 130 milliliters of water, and after that we're going to give it a good mix with a hand whisk. You're going to want to continue whisking it until there are either 0 or very few lumps and all that flour has been brought into the middle of the mixture and properly mixed in. This one, it looks a little bit lumpy because there's chocolate chips in it, but that's okay. Next, you're going to put some muffin cases into a bun tin, and you're going to use a spoon to just scoop out some of the mixture into these cases. So you only want to fill them up about halfway or less, because firstly you want to make sure they don't overflow over the top, and secondly you want to make sure there's enough room at the top for your icing to sit so that you've got your decoration. The cases that I'm using here actually came with the box, so I think this mix is only supposed to make 6 cupcakes, but because I'm only filling them halfway, or maybe it's because I'm not using a muffin tin, I don't know, I actually had enough room for 9 of them, so I had some more cake bun cases there on the side that I added in, so I've got 9 altogether. Once you've put your mixture into your bun cases and there's nothing left, you can just top up anything if you're just wanting to scrape the bowl clean like I was doing here. And aside from that, you're good to go. You could put those into the oven. They took about 20 minutes for me to do. And in the meantime, I started making the teeth. For the teeth, you're going to want to get some parchment paper and a small plate. And you're going to cut the parchment paper to roughly fit the size of the plate. This is just so that if you're putting it into the fridge, it hasn't got big corners sticking off it that it's going to get caught on something and flip them off and they'll fall on the floor and they'll be ruined, which is what I did the first time I made the teeth. I didn't cut the corners off, I didn't make it roughly the size of the plate, and when I put it in, it got caught on the milk and it fell on the floor and I had to remake all my teeth. So just to avoid that, you want your parchment paper to be roughly the size of your plate, and then you can start boiling a kettle to prepare the chocolate writing thing. Because this chocolate is solid at room temperature, it will be solid in the tube, and the tube will feel completely hard. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it into some boiling water. I'm using a glass. Ideally use a mug, because then you've got a handle to hold on to that you're not going to scald yourself. If you're using a glass or something like this, use a tea towel if you're moving it, because you will burn the fingers off yourself. Not fun. After about a minute in the water, the chocolate will be completely melted and you'll be able to start trying to make the teeth. Taking a tea towel, move the cup out of the way and then grab hold of the chocolate writing thing. I do not know what to call it. You can pat it dry so that your hands aren't going to get wet, and then after about a minute, just moving the chocolate around to make sure there's no solid lumps in it. You can then take it by hand, just making sure it's not too hot, and you're going to take the parchment paper off the plate, because it's a bit difficult to do it when it's on the plate because it slips around the place a bit, and you're going to just put a little blob and then drag it towards you. So like you'll see here, the chocolate didn't melt very well in the very, very tip of the pen. So I was just letting that get out and out of the way so it wasn't going to be ruining it. But you'll see in a second, the melted chocolate properly starts making teeth, which is exactly what I wanted. So you're going to make a little blob and then just drag. And that'll give it sort of a root of the tooth and then the little pointy part that they'd be biting you with. So you can do this as many times as you want. You don't have to have a certain number of teeth per cupcake. You can just have 2 and make it a little vampire. You can have about 100 and make it a terrifying shark. Great fun, why not? And they taste like chocolate, so it's perfect. These writing kind of chocolate things are pretty easy to get in most supermarket kind of places that have a baking section. So I got this in Tesco's. I know SuperValu has it as well. And if you don't have one of these, you can use just normal white chocolate and use a teaspoon to make a little blob, and then use a toothpick to drag that blob downwards to turn it into a spiky tooth. Put your paper back on the plate and put it into the fridge to set, and then we'll start decorating the cupcakes. When the cupcakes are done and cooled entirely, make sure they're not even slightly warm because the icing will just melt everywhere. You're going to take a teaspoon and take out a scoop of icing. You're going to blob it into the middle of the cupcake and you're just kind of going to push it down around the edge so that it covers the entire top. When you've got that evenly done, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of drag a line down the middle because you want this to be the mouth. So for the mouth, you're going to want it to be kind of a sharp edge in the middle and a sloped edge on the outside. So as if there's a hole in the middle because that's its mouth that's going to eat you, the other cupcakes, whatever's in its way. The icing might seem very, very soft if your house is warm like mine is right now, but when you put it into the fridge, it'll firm up and it won't be as delicate. Once you have that done, you can start putting in the teeth because they'll be set by now. So I'm using a tweezers because I don't want to get my hands covered in chocolatey icing, and also I don't want my fingers to melt the chocolate teeth because they're so thin that they would melt fairly quickly if you touch them or if you hold them for too long. You can use your hands, just be quick about it. Whereas I prefer to use tweezers because I want to be more precise and I don't want them getting chocolate on them because I feel like they won't look as nice if they're not like shiny white teeth. Like I said earlier, again, there's no limit to how many teeth you have. You can make the mouth really big and have loads of teeth in there. You can make it just a little tiny mouth with 2 little teeth for a vampire. You could layer up lots of teeth behind these teeth so that it looks like it's a scarier mouth. Completely up to you. Next, you're going to take one of your strawberry laces and you're just going to cut off a little length of it. And you're going to split the end so it looks more like a little sort of snake tongue or a reptilian tongue of some sort. You're going to put the end in the mouth and you can use your tweezers to help you place it so that it looks like it's sticking out of the mouth and it's getting ready to eat you. Then you can decorate the outside with sprinkles if you want. You don't have to. I just like the idea of it being a normal cupcake with sprinkles that has turned evil. So I just like the idea of it. It's completely up to you. After that, you repeat it with all your other cupcakes and voila, you have evil cupcakes that are going to eat whoever tries to eat them. So I just think they're cool. They're fun. I first made them when I was playing a game of D&D and I had them as mimics. So it's completely up to you what you use them for, and they'd be really cool at like a Halloween party or such. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next Halloween video. Thank you for watching.